to legends arisen, where history breathes and greatness echoes through time. Today, we dive into the incredible story of Julius Caesar, a tale of ambition, betrayal, and a rise so powerful it changed the course of history. But this is more than a history lesson. It's a reflection on power, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. From a young noble with little influence to a general feared and admired across Rome, Caesar's life was a whirlwind of strategy, charisma, and bold decisions. He faced enemies both on the battlefield and within the very Senate he once served. His victories shook nations, his downfall reshaped an empire, and through it all, he showed us what it means to rise, not just to power, but through adversity. So whether you're a student of history, a seeker of motivation, or simply curious about the man behind the crown of laurel, this story is for you. Long before the laurel crown, Julius Caesar carried a hunger. Born into a noble but fading family, he was not handed greatness. He pursued it. Rome was chaotic, divided by class, by power, by ambition. In that storm, Caesar saw opportunity. He studied rhetoric, learned the art of persuasion, and climbed the ranks with charm and determination. He once said, "It is better to be first in a village than second in Rome." That was no boast. It was a blueprint. Caesar didn't wait for permission. He moved forward because standing still was never an option. As a general, Caesar was fearless and brilliant. His conquest of Gaul wasn't just military, it was psychological. He led from the front, shared rations with soldiers, and made loyalty a weapon. Victory after victory, he became a symbol of unstoppable momentum. But power doesn't come without enemies. In Rome, the Senate grew restless. He was becoming too popular, too influential. They feared him because they couldn't control him. Then came the decision that changed history. With the Senate ordering him to disband his army, Caesar faced a line, both literal and symbolic. The Rubicon River. Crossing it meant war, but also destiny. He crossed without hesitation. "Alea iacta est," he declared. "The die is cast." In that moment, Caesar didn't just defy the Senate. He defied fate. He chose action over compromise, purpose over peace. And in doing so, he began Rome's transformation, from a crumbling republic to a mighty empire. But the higher you rise, the deeper the blade cuts. On the Ides of March 44 BC, Caesar was struck down, not by enemies, but by friends, men he trusted, among them Brutus. "Et tu, Brute," he whispered, not in anger but in heartbreak. It wasn't the sword that truly ended him, it was betrayal. He fell, not as a tyrant, but as a visionary misunderstood by those afraid of change. His death was not the end. It was the beginning of a legend. Julius Caesar taught us that greatness demands risk, that the road to power is paved with sacrifice, and that legacy is not defined by how long you live, but by what you leave behind. Even in death, Caesar shaped Rome. His adopted heir, Octavian, became Augustus, the first emperor. His name, Caesar, became a title used by rulers for centuries because true impact doesn't die, it echoes. Caesar fought wars, but his greatest struggle was against doubt. He was warned not to chase power, warned not to challenge the Senate, warned not to cross the Rubicon. But he did. Because deep inside he believed, if you must break the law, do it to seize power. In all other cases, observe it. He wasn't perfect, but he was relentless. And in a world that often demands silence, he roared. Over 2,000 years have passed, and still, his name inspires. Leaders quote him, strategists study him, dreamers invoke him, not because he conquered, but because he dared, because he rose, fell, and rose again, if not in body, then in legacy. Julius Caesar reminds us, you don't need to be born extraordinary. You only need to believe in your vision and fight for it against all odds. Julius Caesar's life was not just a story of power. It was a lesson in resilience, risk, and rising beyond failure. He didn't wait for history to remember him. He carved his name into it. So when the world tells you to back down, to stay in line, to play it safe, remember Caesar. And ask yourself, what empire might you build if you dared to rise? Julius Caesar's legacy teaches us that greatness is never handed. It's earned through vision, courage, and relentless action. Though his end came with betrayal, his impact was immortal. He once said, "If you must break the law, do it to seize power. In all other cases, observe it." A reminder that boldness carries risk, but without it, there is no transformation. Let Caesar's journey inspire your own. Stand tall, think big, move boldly. And if this story stirred something in you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful journeys from history's greatest minds. Until next time, conquer the day with purpose.